Guys, it's no secret. You know that I love barbell apparel. And if you've got an athletic build, you're going to love them too. Because you will finally be able to wear something that fits as good as it looks. Right now, Barbell Apparel is running their annual Swolemate sale. Grab something for yourself and for your partner. Let your partner know that you notice their hard work in the gym and give them some clothing that will help keep them motivated on workout day. For a limited time, get any of their jeans, chinos, or anything pants for just $99. That's $50 below normal. These pants are amazing. They're built to fit athletic bodies, and you'll have complete freedom of movement. Barbell's pants are as comfortable as sweatpants. The quality and construction is second to none, and they are guaranteed for a full year. Go to barbellapparel.com/Chael. Do it right now. Take a look at a collection of my favorite items and take advantage of this special offer today. All right, guys, let's play a game. Let's get Jon Jones beat. Let's get him beat. Now, to get Jon Jones beat, we have to be silly. We have to. I have found myself, I'm a professional at this, right? I mean, people pay me to share my opinion. I have found myself and had to catch myself when explaining how good Jon Jones is. I have began to say that he was chosen by God as my explanation. And I've had to catch myself and stop and go, Chael, don't say that. Don't put that out. Come on, that's lazy. Break it down. Do a better job. Talk about his length. Talk about his background. Talk about, who's training him. And it's so hard to put into words how talented he is. I don't know that I've seen anything like it. In all of sport. In all of sport, I don't know if I've seen somebody with as little of experience or as little of sacrifice, as little of knowledge, to just walk in and be able to play. And some of those things that I would say about Jon aren't totally true. When I talk about his experience or his sacrifice, that isn't true now. He's 35 years old. He's been doing this enough time. He's walked through those doors in and out enough times that perhaps that isn't true. But he was a champion of the world when he's 23 years old. At 18 years old, he wasn't in MMA. At 18 years old, he was going to college. From there, he was going to move up from the junior college to the Division I. I mean, he had no thing with MMA. It wasn't a thing. And I'm just going back to when he was 18. I don't even know what he was thinking at 20. I don't know what he was thinking at 19. I know he was a champion of the world at 23. Champion of the world at 23 and was not in the sport at 18. That's just what I know. How do you explain this? How do you explain it? So, okay, let's get him beat. Do we put a time machine? Do we get a time machine and do we run him back to 2004, fly him out to Sadiana Arena and put him against Fedor Emelianenko? Will that do it? Are we sure? Could we handicap match him like Vince McMahon would do? Could we find two killers and have him fight them in the same night? So Jon Jones, he's got to go out and he's got to deal. He's got to deal with Aspinall. But then in that same night, he's got to come out and he's got to take on Sergey Pavlovich. Could he do it? Could he beat two men in one night? He is barely breaking a sweat. They used to take away from Mike Tyson. They would take away from Mike Tyson by saying that the guys that he was fighting quit in the locker room. They didn't bring their skills with them. They wilted. They were intimidated. They buckled. They're right. They're absolutely right. Anybody that saw Mike Tyson fight Bruce Seldon and thinks that Bruce Seldon took a dive is right. You can rewind that tape 100 times. Mike didn't touch him in Bruce's lane pretending he's asleep. Those things happen, but I don't tease Bruce. Those things happen when you're petrified. It's a very natural human emotion. It's called fight or flight. Everybody has it, no matter how tough you are. There's a limit. There is a point where something scares you. And in that fear, you just want it over with, including if it's a negative consequence to yourself, just to have resolution and not have to worry about it anymore, not have to dwell on it, not have to think about all the negative things that are possibly going to happen. I will have resolution. Those negative things did happen, but they're at least done. It's called fight or flight. So when they used to take away from Mike, Tyson, they talk about his opponents that were back down. It's an incredibly difficult thing to do. If you can wilt an opponent, if you were that good, if you were that petrifying, if you've beaten that many men that they've seen before, if you hit that hard, I'm describing Mike Tyson right now, good for you. They should never use that against you. That should never be something that a pundit says against you. It's a compliment to you. Jon Jones is now in a spot where these guys aren't competing. I would never kick a man when he's down. I really do believe that about myself. And I am not giving Surreal Gone a hard time. I'll just share with you to make sure that you know what you witnessed, okay? We've been told in this sport from the beginning of time, it's a size advantage. Now we see time and time again that size is a disadvantage. We see you don't want to be bigger than your opponent. You don't want to be the heavier guy. You don't want to be the slower guy. But this is what we're told. We're told from the beginning of time that it is a youth advantage. We keep getting told, I don't know where that came from. I really don't. When I was a senior in high school, there wasn't a seventh grader in all the lands I had to worry about, but somewhere over time, it's supposed to go to the younger guy. But Jon was the older guy, the much older guy. I'm just bringing this to you to see Surreal be so scared and not want to be in that really was a thing of awe. And it's not something that should be taken away from Jon Jones. To watch Jon Jones go in there and throw ones and twos right down the middle. Jon never came out and just threw a cross. He threw a one and he threw a cross behind it. That is the first combination you will learn in your very first day of boxing practice. A one and a two followed by a three. Every gym in the world. And it's what Jon Jones turned to when the house was on fire and the world title was up for grabs. He turned to the most basic combination there was, a one followed by a two. He stepped right into range without fear. That is a remarkable thing. Jon did not go into that fight thinking and acknowledging, you're the superior striker. You're a professional striker. You have knocked out many men in this division. I have knocked out none. I must get you to the ground. Hoist Gracie taught us this in 1993. I must get you to the ground. He had no urgency. When they went to the ground, Jon didn't mean to go to the ground. There was not only the clumsiest, most accidental takedown of the evening, it's the clumsiest, most accidental takedown that I've ever seen in championship history. Jon wanted to stand. Where would he get that confidence? Why would he think that he could do that? Why was Surreal running from him? Why was Surreal so scared of that position? Why, when they got in that position, did he want out? I'm not teasing Surreal, not in the least. I'm making sure to try to observe and accurately identify what I saw so that I can make a prediction and actually accurately identify the future, which in this case, it looks like it's Stipe Miocic. But it's a really stunning thing. And if you were to get Jon beat, what would you do? Where would you go? As silly as it is for me to tell you have a time machine, what if you did? What would you do? Would you move him down to light heavyweight and you'd send him in there with Don Fry? I mean, I'm just having fun. I'm going in different directions. But what are you going to do? Who is it you're going to have that you're so sure step number one isn't going to be petrified? They're going to actually bring their skills. I saw who won between Jon Jones and Surreal Gone, but I don't know who's better between Jon Jones and Surreal Gone. One guy wanted to be there. One guy wasn't worried about it. One guy wanted out. Very common, very normal. Not generally in a championship spot, but very common and very normal. You saw 11 fights on Saturday. You saw 11 people that wanted to get out, whether you knew it or not. So if you were going to get it beaten, you had all the power that you had. It could be light heavyweight. It could be heavyweight. What year was it? Who's the guy? How are you going to do it? Get Jon beat. Go ahead. Try it.